Thank you.
Oh, you have to hit each one.
Is it okay?
Stream's going, but records not.
Okay.
I just hit it once, it flashed a couple times, and now
Try to try it one time.
it's not recording.
Okay. So we'll record for you. We've got live stream.
Yeah, that's because I don't have that SD correct. So we're good. We're streaming.
So we're streaming, we're just not recording
It'll
it.
be recorded on YouTube when I end the stream, but I do not have a copy for myself.
So, okay.
The link should be down there. That's not recording. I think I figured out too. Just leave it recorded.
So I guess we'll call the meeting to order. Usually that would be the president's job, but we have to figure that out tonight as well. So first order of business would be, do you want to approve minutes from the last one, or do you want to go ahead with like president, vice president?
I have sent the minutes out to everybody, and I was getting signatures, like, because I wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was getting signatures from Jennifer and Sam, and in the shuffle, the signatures got lost, so I'm sending them out again.
Okay.
And then I'll bring them to you the next
Okay.
meeting to sign, because
Okay.
you were at that November meeting.
Yes.
So, but they have all approved the minutes, they just have to sign off on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So do you want me to go ahead and just like digitally send those minutes to
If
you?
you want to, that's fine.
Okay, I will.
Mm,
Or, yeah, you sent me a copy, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think you did.
Mhm.
I'll find them. So I'll just put that in the improvement section, that explanation.
Gotcha. And then, just say we have to do this when we live stream. Before we go and elect president and vice president, here's the paperwork to formally have you guys, it's the same thing you signed for Sarah, it's just gonna be for my copies. Good. So- Thank you very much. And also, thank you for joining the board. Glad to have you guys on board.
Yes, thanks for
Thank you.
joining the board.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, same.
So I figure the next order of business would probably be to elect the president, vice president, get that out of the way. I don't believe I have anything to do with that, and that's between board members, if I'm understanding correctly. So I'm not sure how you guys want to proceed with that, or who wants
I
to be
think I've never been
nominated.
involved in that. I think
Yeah,
it was all
me
done
neither.
Or maybe Avis just agreed, everybody agreed to stay where they were last time. I think that's what it was.
Because it was Wayne for a little bit, and then when he left, Avis took over his position.
It's took over, yeah.
Okay.
So we have a president, a vice president, and a secretary. And so, I don't know. Bill, would you want to be president?
Not particularly. I don't have a lot of experience running meetings. I would certainly be vice president to step in when needed. If push came to shove, I would be in that position, but my term was up this past year, at the end of the year. And so my plan is to just hang on for another year. So whatever I do will just be for 2026. I think yours is up 2026 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Anyway.
time to discuss, because I've got multiple reports of different terms for everybody.
Yeah.
So I wanted to clarify that too
Okay.
tonight. So
I know what I signed for Judge Bright was for the 2 years that I, 1+ or whatever I was
Gotcha.
on.
To my knowledge, the terms are for 4 years of what I've
Yeah.
researched.
Okay.
That's what I've always heard,
Yeah.
4 years.
Mhm.
Is that what it was when you were on before? 4 years?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, I moved away, so I didn't serve a full term. So
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
But as I said, I would be happy to be the vice president and run
Gotcha.
meetings when whomever couldn't.
Sure.
I hate to
Um,
sidestep it,
Kristen, do you want to stay as secretary?
It doesn't matter to me. I feel a little shaky being the president, but I also understand that we're the only two returning. So I am willing to try being president.
Okay.
But I am going to, like, the, just so you know, like, the minutes, you're taking minutes at the meeting, and then you send them out to the board members afterwards, and then you also send it to Rodney, who puts it on the website, because we have to post it. So that happens like a month late after we get it approved, like after we get the minutes approved at the next meeting. So that's kind of what the secretary position involves. So I can either do president or I'm willing to do secretary, either one.
Do either of you have the desire to be either position?
I can do secretary. I feel more
Okay.
comfortable starting with secretary than with
Okay.
president.
Okay.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was gonna say, I don't really know, I guess, what it would entail or.
Okay. And we just have a Google Drive, and so I can share that with whoever the secretary is. And it used to be very organized until I took over, and now it's not very organized.
she'll start selling.
Yeah, she does a fine job. Don't let her fool you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, does that answer the question? I am willing to do be president if, hopefully this year won't go smoothly. It should. Okay.
Gotcha. So we can do a formal nomination and acceptance.
I think we probably should.
So, and again, I believe that should be.
Somebody want to make a nomination?
I nominate Kristen for president.
Do we do the whole slate at once, or,
I don't know that it matters,
okay.
but we can.
You want to nominate everybody then?
And for vice president. Do you go by Cassie?
Elizabeth, or Liz, yeah.
Okay. And Liz.
Or
as
Cassie.
secretary.
Okay.
I didn't know which.
I think for official purposes, I'm Elizabeth, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to ask you
Yeah.
what you preferred. So.
Yeah, I go by Liz. Like I was Cassie until I was
Yeah.
18, so kind of
Okay.
stuck.
Gotcha.
Last time I saw you was probably at Lynette,
Yeah.
and that's where I think it was. I was like, I don't remember which one.
Anybody
I
want
will
a second?
that motion.
Okay.
If I can- I sent him.
We don't have anybody else. All those in favor?
Right.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Okay, so there are your, that's what it will be for this year.
Alright, so moving forward, for the new park board members, you can see I kind of highlighted in yellow there for you guys. You guys need to reach out to Nikki Lucas, she's the head of HR. You need to have a number there, you can call or text her, that is a work number. And in order to make sure we get you on the payroll for the park board, you need to submit a voided check, your social security number, and a driver's license. She can schedule when to meet and take care of all that with you. You have a little bit of time, you get paid quarterly. So I think the first time you get paid is March 27th. So if you can get that information to her, at least by March, now everything's good to go for that first payment. So,
And she's right across the street there?
yeah, right across the road, there's that little paved drive, like at the bottom of the jail, little gray door, that's where she's at.
Okay.
So, begin to get paid quarterly. I went there and put down the 4 dates that you get paid this year, and you guys get paid $102.55 before taxes per quarter. So you guys, not a whole lot, so we really thank you for coming in and doing it for so little. Absolutely. Do you want me to go ahead with the report, or is there anything else?
I don't have anything.
Gotcha.
Do you, Bill?
No?
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure how into the weeds we would get tonight. I didn't know if it would be kind of a meet and greet and go over the basics, or if you guys wanted to go through the full report. The main topic we should probably focus on tonight would be the master plan, just so I can contact whatever firm we decide and get the ball rolling on that. I got other things in here to discuss, like changing some rules and policies that I need you guys' permission to sign off on, but again, that's not pressing by any means. The main thing would be the master plan. Before I go on, though, I do want to confirm, so with, again, I think the terms are 4 years long, so both you guys are starting 2026 to 2030. Bill, you believe you started in, I don't know what years.
Whenever Wayne started, and then the term that I assumed ended December 31st.
So you filled his role, that's why it's
Yes,
not.
yes, that's the way it was written by the
Gotcha.
judge.
Yeah, I don't know years for that. I want to say it's like 2023. Or was it involved with
It didn't even say, for me, it just showed the date I took over and the end date.
Gotcha. I'll try to do a little more research. Maybe I can find a little files and I can maybe find some answers there. I was trying to get everybody's political affiliation. No, I never caught yours.
Mine as Republican.
Republican?
Mhm. I tried to be independent when I was 18 and they shut me down.
They wouldn't let you?
They wouldn't let me vote in the primary. They said, you have to declare.
Mm.
So I just changed
So
parties
independents
every
don't
year.
get to vote in the primary?
I don't think, in some states, yes. In some states, I think a Republican can vote in a Democratic primary and vice versa, but not in
Yeah.
Indiana.
You just go in and you say, I want this ballot. I
Right.
want a Republican ballot. So I guess if you vote that same party, multiple times, then you're qualified to run under that party
Okay,
as an official.
okay.
That's what I found out. Asking questions. Being stubborn.
So we'll just jump ahead in the report to discuss the master plan, just so we can get that out of the way. So I handed you all like 3 different packets. I believe, let's see here. The one I handed you is what we normally do every meeting. It's kind of the director's report, and it also has like the financial status for the last month. I also included for everybody this year a copy of our bylaws and some more documentation about the park board, so we just have that to refer back to if you have any questions. And I'm new to this role, we're all kind of things as we go here, so I wanted us to have answers if need be. But most importantly, the last packet is our 3 proposals I received from 3 different firms concerning our next 5-year master plan. So I think there's a pretty clear-cut option here, but I'll lay them all out for you. We'll start with HWC. I don't know what order they are for you. So HWC, they're the ones currently working for the City Parks Department, wrote their master plan. I've met with them multiple times. They sent me this back in November, but they will not give me a price point for the master plan. I also emailed them about a month ago and said, hey, we're going to have a meeting. I need to have some kind of number so we can actually decide. And I have not heard anything from them. I don't know if they just don't want the gig or what. So I think that kind of sells it there with them. Next up we have, I'll take the single sheet here. It's from Tricia McClellan. She is with, let me see here, I forget the name. It's like a 3-name firm, I can't think of it off the top of my head. And they give you a breakdown of 3 levels you can choose from. You know, they're all guaranteed they'll pass the DNR, so you're eligible for grants. But the first level starts 30 to 40, then it goes up to 50 to 60. And, you know, they can get as elaborate as you want them to be, so $75,000 to $100,000. So I think, obviously, we talked about this in the past, we figured we'd go the cheapest, basic route. Not simple, but just enough to get the job done and make us eligible for grants. So if we were to choose them, I'd definitely say going for the lower option. With all these, I'm sure you can add a la carte and extra services. But that's their proposal there. And then finally, we have one from Taylor Seifker-Williams, I think I pronounced that correctly. So they actually have the most detailed proposal. And actually, after reading through it, they have the whole scope of work pretty standard with everybody else. but their estimate is $14,800. And so the sheet that I attached on top, I emailed him, I just want to clarify, is this correct? You know, how my other quotes, that's
Yeah.
very low. He says, no, we took into account that you guys have an existing master plan in place, you already have something to work with, so we're not starting from scratch. So base, you know, kind of breaks down that email. A little under 15,000 for the base. If we want to add extra public input meetings, extra whatever, you know, they can add that onto it. But they also give us multiple, you know, they gave us a little information regarding their firm. They gave multiple examples of other parks they have worked with. And even at the bottom, it says, you know, this park received LWCF funding as a result of the planning efforts. So their master plans have resulted in grants for other park departments. So this is one of those things I want to at least talk about it. I didn't know if like we wanted to make that decision tonight or if that's something everybody wants to study a little bit and read up, because I know it's a lot of wordage there. You know, maybe next meeting make a decision. I at least wanted to get that out to you guys and then kind of see how you wanted to proceed there.
Yeah, I don't think we're in a major hurry unless it's a grant issue, but they're looking at updating for 2027 through 2031. So if we want to table it until next meeting, that's fine.
Is that fine with you guys?
Fine with me.
Again, I know I needed a lot of paperwork there, so give me a chance to actually read through it and not agree to anything blindly. Because I think the cutoff date is November 15th for your rough draft, and then DNR kind of goes over it, and I think you have to like March of 2027 to, or sometime early in 2027 to finalize everything. So, and again, I think it helps that we already have a master plan in place, so that kind of smooths it. Any questions about the proposals or just in general? Yeah, Emily, Elizabeth, if you have any questions, by all means, just shout out, you know.
Are you okay with us waiting until next month, make it, or
Yeah.
you're not in any hurry?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can let them know. Yeah, it's only going to be like, what, 2 more weeks?
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
not that far. Because it is a big decision, a big financial decision, so we'll make sure we think it through.
So, sorry, I'm showing my ignorance. What exactly is a master plan?
That's a good question, because when I started, I had no idea.
It kind of takes together all the information regarding our parks, you know, the layout, drainage, you know, the main department's goals are.
Like this is,
So to be eligible for the LWCF grants, you have to have a master
Oh, okay.
plan approved by the DNR in place to be eligible for those grants.
okay, cool.
So that's the big linchpin there, is to get that master plan in place, so then you can get that master plan in place, so then you can get more funding.
What kind of grant, what did you say, those what?
LWCF.
LWCF.
I will say, since I won't be here for the next meeting, because we'll be traveling, I would go with whatever your recommendation is. It seems like the lowest cost is appealing, just because they are embracing what's already out there and going to build on it. And I think you had suggested that you were comfortable doing that and
Yeah.
making your own personal tweaks to it. So.
And also, just like from the 3 proposals, even though there's the cheapest, it was the most detailed, giving you most examples, and I find that very, I can't think of the word, but yeah, that's a good one.
And that's just 2 cents for me, not
Okay, yeah.
being able to be here next time.
Okay. All right, so I gave you guys the paperwork on the master plan. I'll go back a page for the director's report. I kind of want to go over, since I took over the role, I wanted to iron out some details of our rules and policies for the park department. Again, if you have any questions why I want to change these, by all means ask. I'll give you my reasoning. but it is the park board's policy, or park board's rules to police the rules and policies. You guys make the rules for the parks department. So, first off, just to simplify things, for our dining hall, which is our community building we rent out, right now we have 2 rates. We have the Monday through Thursday rate and our Friday, Saturday, Sunday rate. So the weekday rate's only $70, and that's not, customers are not able to access that rate online. They have to call in, we have to modify the price, do all that stuff. And then the weekly rate, $125. First off, I feel $125 is a steal for the building to begin with for a day, and then even more so, I think $70 for a weekday is a steal. So I felt like just a flat rate of $125, 7 days a week, it just kind of simplifies everything. Less phone work for us, dealing with customers, and also, like, there's more work for us involved, more it's rented. So if somebody gets it cheap, they're less likely to take care of it, follow the rules. And there's more work for us to clean up, fix anything. Yeah, maybe be a little selfish, but I just think it would streamline everything for us in the office. We just changed the dining hall to a flat rate. Thoughts on that? I know you guys are kind of new to all of this, and what's your thoughts on that?
I think it makes good sense if somebody wants to rent the building. It's no different to you guys whether it's a weekday or a weekend. So somebody's going to have to be there and inspect it and all that.
And we still have
us.
us. Yeah, and we still have a special if you go through the office. If you get 2 days in a row, you can get, like, you pay the normal $125, but if you do the day before, like say you want to set it for the dinner day early, it's only $50 for that extra day if you want to have 2 days together. So you can still have a discount for stuff like that. I just felt like a flat rate makes more sense. I mean, because I know some rooms you rent out and it's like $250 for like 3 hours. We're getting a whole building, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen for $125. I feel like it's a steal to begin with. So. Okay. Next, I kind of don't know why I put this in between. I think in my editing, I put it in the wrong spot. Just a little background. The next level trails. I'm still in talks with Brad to get ownership of those easements. I haven't heard anything from him. I need to reach out after the holidays to get the ball rolling on that. So moving on with rules and policies here. I kind of edited everything. As you guys may have heard, rock climbing was suspended for our department. We're no longer allowed to have people rock climb on the property. So I went through and I removed anything related to rock climbing or rappelling to take that off the rules and policies. The next thing I changed, originally our staff hours on the weekends, we work a split shift. Morning we work from 8 to noon, and then previously it was down, we worked from 5 to 8 p.m. There's no need for anybody to stay that late, and plus when that person has to get off at 8 o'clock and then come back the next day at 8 a.m., it just felt like it was too late and not necessary, so I just changed the evening hours from 5 to 8 to 4 to 7. Kind of fits our needs better. Again, I removed, it says manipulation of natural man-made park features. I removed the exception for chalk by rock climbers again because of the banned rock climbing. We do have a policy on the property. We have multiple water spigots for the public to use, but it's for on-park consumption. We get a lot of people that come with 20 jugs, fill up a bunch of jugs in the back of their car and take off. They're supposed to pay a certain fee for that, but it's never been established what that fee is. I think when I first started, it was around 50 cents. I think with everything going up, I thought a nice even $1 per gallon makes sense. It makes the transaction easier to understand, easier for people to do the math. So I wanted to just charge $1 for a gallon of water if they take it off property. Again, that's for those people that come in with.
Is that posted anywhere?
No, it's only on the rules and policies on the website.
Oh.
So it's not campers, not people who've rented.
No, I mean, anytime you're using facilities or even you're there for the day hiking, you've got water spigots are free to use. Like I said,
Just come in and do it.
Just take,
Right.
just
yeah,
fill
they'll
it
come
with
in with a car full of bottles and just sit there and fill bottles up for an hour or two and then take off. Take it home and do whatever they want. So yeah, I want to change that to $1. Next up, I added a section regarding littering.
Hold on, can we go back to that for a second?
Sure.
Do you ever have anybody come pay you for the water? Like,
Nobody will voluntarily come and pay. It's us doing our work. We see a car parked at a shelter, and we
okay,
have to go stop and talk to them.
okay. All right. I was just gonna say, I had no idea that was even a policy. So I wondered.
Again, the existing rules doesn't have an amount
Yeah,
stated. So I wanted to establish,
Yeah.
if somebody questions me, I can point them to the website. It's right
yes,
there,
okay,
$1 a gallon.
okay,
So.
sorry, you can go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if I go too fast, by all means, tell me to slow down. I know I get to just spew, get it over with. Next up, I have this section about littering. Just people where I ask park visitors to ask them to deposit all the refuse and debris in the dumpster or the trash barrels. And then I wanted to put a ban or prohibit confetti. We get a lot of parties at the shelters. It's confetti. Nobody picks it up. And you just have a little bit of trash scattered all over the park. I'm not against confetti, but I don't think it vibes well with the park. That goes against our whole, aesthetic and purpose, to keep a clean and environmental area. So I wanted to ban confetti. And then I just added up. You guys don't know, we do have 2 parks. We have Muscatatuck Park and Eco Lake Park. Last year we decided to close down the campground for the winter because we found out that park being so far away from our centralized location, we weren't able to get eyes on all the time. We were actually having more vandalism than we were rentals, so it wasn't cost effective to keep the campground open. So I just wanted to add something to our rules and policy stating that we do close down our campground from November 1st to April 1st approximately. I wanted to update that. A couple more campground rules. I want to make it clear that the bathhouses are for paid campers only and for the sole purpose of showering. That is because in the past we allowed homeless people, or anybody, I shouldn't say homeless, excuse me, any non-campers to pay a $3 fee to use the showers. But again, it was hard to police that. They got abused a lot. So we wanted to, and this is actually a rule we've been following for the last 3 or 4 years, that it's only for campers. So I wanted to update the rules to reflect that. Next, for campground rules, there was no set limit for pets. We've had an issue with people having 4 or 5 dogs on their site, and it's just, nobody wants to camp with 5 dogs over here yapping, barking, so we want to put a limit on that. We felt like 2 is a fair number. And then we've had people, cancellations and rain checks are up to the discretion of the staff, but I never wanted to keep those cancellations, or if somebody wanted to reschedule, I didn't want it to be open-ended and just kind of lingering. So I wanted to set in place, if you don't want to accept the cancellation, you want to reschedule, from the time you let me know you want to cancel or reschedule, you have 7 days to give me another date. After 7 days, we go forward with cancellation. That way the whole process is done, and it's not like a month later they're calling back and it's like, who are you? What did we talk about? Like, just get it over with.
That's a good idea.
And then next I wanted to update, we also do, so you guys know, we do long-term camping, which has to be approved by the director. It's a monthly increment, and it gives the camper 20% off, so they can stay for, right now it's set for 6 months at a time, and then leave for 6 months. A couple of meetings back, we decided to put in place a rule saying long-term, there are no refunds, because it get kind of tricky figuring out why they get refunded, when they paid for, and we just kind of figured if you're going to commit to long-term, it is what it is. And so I just wanted to update the rules saying that, except for before I said, if you're removed from the property, it will nullify refund except for prepaid amounts over 7 days. I want to strike that from the record so it states that you don't get your refund for taking it out. Next up, I wanted to discuss this because again, with eco being so far away and hard to keep eyes on, I thought about limiting the long-term camping only to Muscatatuck Park. I'm not set on that. I thought it might be easier because we have issues with, we just can't watch people as there as well. We go out to mow once a week, but we go out there and they have all kinds of stuff set up. We don't know what they're doing. That's not the purpose of a campground. That's why we have the limit set so people don't get too stagnant, don't put in roots, we want to keep a turnover. So we don't have to make that decision now, but I was kind of leaning towards just having long-terms in Muscatatuck. And then I clarified some more rules for our long-term camping. We don't do any long-term in tents. That gets dangerous, and that attracts the wrong kind of crowd. Not that I don't want to help people, but that just leads to too much trouble. And I just added the other, terminology there. That long-term camping is scheduled in monthly increments. It's not 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's 1 month at a time. And also want to discuss the possibility. Like I said, our long-term right now policy is you can stay for 6 months, and you have to leave both properties for 6 months. That's kind of the cycle. I feel like that's too big a chunk of time. I was thinking about modifying that to you can stay for 3 months, then you have to leave for 1 month and you come back. That can kind of, you know, even if they start off great, you know, if there's any issues, I just feel like that's a better cycle. 3 months is a good amount of time they can stay. And I felt like 6 months to leave was almost too long. Like, I don't know, they're not going to come back. So, again, we don't have to decide that, but it's just something I want to throw out there. I feel like it might be a better fit for the department.
What's
So that-
the short-term limit? Like, how long can somebody take camp?
So yeah, if you're not long-term, the longest you can stay is 14 days. And after that, you have to leave for 2 days, and you can get back for another 14.
Okay.
So I guess they had issues back in the 90s, early 2000s, of people just setting up camp, staying, you know, 1, 2, 3 years, whatever. And so they put rules in place to kind of, it helps keep the campground
Oh,
clean
yeah.
and keep the turnover. And it's easier for maintenance, because if somebody sets up on a campsite, it's hard to get leaves or mow around it or whatever, so it's good to keep them running. Now we do have, just so you guys are aware, we do have one long-term camper that's been with us for 3 years now, because she was here before we started this. And she has been nothing but a delight to work with. She's a real nice lady. So she's kind of grandfathered in. We have 0 issues with her. I've never had a complaint about her. Like, she's just a good person, so we're working with her and letting her stay for right now.
So do we need to vote on this?
I think I don't know if you need to vote or just give me approval to modify these, and then I can resubmit them to Rodney and have them updated on the website. If you have any questions about any of these, by all means ask. You know, I can explain myself a little bit better if need be.
I am fine with, I don't have a problem with any of them, so
Same.
I'm fine.
Okay. Same,
Yeah, that's what I said. Those all make sense to me.
Gotcha.
Why you want to change them?
Gotcha. In the long term, at ECO, maybe that's something we change. We get a more steady presence out there. But again, right now, we go there maybe twice a week to mow and do a little bit of other stuff, but we're just not there all the time. So that's just like a temporary thing.
So it would be more like the 2 week, but I think 2 weeks is still. a
Yeah,
good
that still
amount of
applies out
time.
there. I
Yeah.
just didn't want to do monthly out there.
Mhm.
So, awesome. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Moving on, I figured this might incorporate into our master plan. I don't know if you follow our Facebook page. We've been tagged with Straight Up Aerials. They do drone work, and they kind of did a bunch of videos of our different properties, different photos. They look really cool. But he wanted to talk with me about the rules for drones. And as I was going over the rules and policies, like, we don't have anything in place for that. So he kind of gave me some paperwork I need to study. And I'm thinking that the master plan is something we can kind of incorporate and kind of establish some rules, because I think that's going to be a lot more prevalent going forward. A lot of people are interested in drones, and you need to give them rules so they know where they're allowed to fly, all those that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he did a great job at Eagle Lake on that.
Yeah, you
Video.
catch
That's
the,
pretty cool,
yeah,
yeah.
it was really nice. They took some really cool photos of the playground in Scattertech Park. Like, it's really cool. So, okay. Moving on, we've already discussed the master plan. Going on to the grounds. So it's winter time, so we don't have much going on. But so at the Scattertech Park, recently in the office, we had a water leak in one of the toilet shut-off valves. Actually, what happened was we came back from the weekend and the toilet clogged, and then the toilet didn't stop filling. So then the hallway was full of water, and we had water all over the living space and whatever. So we cleaned it. In the process, we turned the water off to fix it, but then that valve hasn't been used in 10 years. So when we shut it off, that valve went bad, so we had to replace that. But that's taken care of now. The crew took care of that. Next up, I had a mold inspection done, because I realized the last year I've been spending a lot more time in the office, and I have really bad sinuses and allergies anyways, but I kind of noticed throughout the year I kept just feeling a little more stuff in my chest, in my head. I just thought it was allergies or whatever, or the stress from the new job. But then when I was off for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was away, I felt like my head got clearer. So just out of curiosity, I want to get a mold inspection to see what happens. So I just received the results the other day. Honestly, it's all Greek to me, so I need to study a little bit more. And the guy that did the test said he's happy to explain any questions I have, or if he needs to explain to you guys, he'll come in and talk to you guys as well. But just to let you know, I did have that done, and I need to go over those results. Next up, down in Vinegar Mill, we discussed the no climbing signs were stolen. So after the last meeting, I went ahead and ordered 2 more, so we have a backup. I haven't heard anything on that yet. I'm going to reach out. We went through Chris with Imagination Graphics. He's working on them, so and we'll reach out to him, see how those are coming on. I also mentioned this in the last meeting, down at Vinegar Mill, Simeon Stern is going to donate a bench down there along the riverfront in memory of his father. It's going to match the one that was down there for next little trails. We met once back in the fall, and I'm assuming I'll hear more in the spring once they can get down and do the work. But it's really cool for him to donate that bench. And it's a perfect spot for it, like just the view of the river. It's a really cool spot. Next up, we discussed this in the fall. The Walnut Grove Schoolhouse, we had a major leak in the roof. It came through the roof. We had the ceiling collapse in a certain section. The other corner in the front, if you go look at it, when you look at the building, there's a corner here where this gutter wasn't working, so all the water off the roof was coming down the corner, and the whole corner of the building, you could see inside the building. So the guys went through, filled it with foam, and kind of insulated it. But we discussed and we accepted a bid from First Choice Construction for, I think, $13,450. I think that's correct. It's right around $14,000. They're going to redo the roof, add guttering, and then they're going to replace the ceiling inside as well. So I just talked to him about a week ago, and we are on their spring schedule. So whenever we get a warm snap or it just warms up for good, they'll come along and take care of that.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, they were the cheapest out of all the estimates. That's all we have going on in Scatatuck Park right now. Moving on to Eco Lake Park. You might have heard they're going to do construction on State Road 7 here in a couple of years, starting from Highway 50 all the way to 31. So I met with some people from American Construction Point Firm. They're the one working with NDOT to develop the plans for that construction job. We just had one quick meeting. So the estimated time of work is going to start in the spring of 2029, and the whole job should be done by late summer 2031. Excuse me. The area in front of Eco, that should only last about 4 weeks when they're working there, and they're going to contact me to let me know when that's going to be so we can plan accordingly. Essentially, they had to reach out to me since it's a park. They want to make sure the environmental impacts were minimal there. And essentially all they're doing is widening the road, so we're going to lose a little square footage, but essentially just going to move the ditch in a little bit, and that's it. So, yeah. And then moving on with Eco, again, this is before my time. When we started the Eco Campground, we reached out to Shaw Memorial to have some signs made for Eco Lake Park, like directional signs, camping, that kind of stuff. When Greg was let go and I took over, there was confusion whether or not we still wanted the job done. So they kind of put it on the back burner. I've been talking with them. Everything should be done in the next month or two so we can get those signs hung before the next camping season in April. That's the plan there. For the lake out of Eco, I reached out to Aquatic Control. They're the ones we've been working with to do the treatments. It's the same as last year. Of course, everything went up a little bit because of the inflation. But so we do the curly leaf pondweed treatment, and that's once a year for the $2,250. And then there's another for duckweed water meal. That's at least once a year, and then it is as needed. I think last year we did it twice last year, and that kind of took care of it. The good thing, before Greg asked for $10,000 for capital improvements, so we do have $10,000 from the bonds to take care of Eco Lake treatments. Last I heard, I think we have 3 years to use that. So for the next 2 or 3 years, we don't have to. There's no money out of the Parks Department to take care of the treatments for that lake. And that's all we got going out of Eco. Again, the campground's closed right now, so it's very slow out there. Moving forward, finally get this off our list. We bought a new truck last year. When we bought it, first off, it didn't run after like a month, and we spent all summer trying to get it to run. And then, as you can see there, I purchased the truck in March or April. I didn't receive the title till June or July, and I didn't receive the plates until this last December. So I finally got the plates in December, so now we're safe to take go with the new truck. So for at least the last week, so I'm ready to mark that off. And then lastly, I just got a short list of things going on. Some winter projects that the crews do in the field. Last spring we had some vandalism out of Eco where they ripped off the stall doors and the partitions. So the guys have got the partitions back up in place. Observation system. A month before our busy season. So I'm going to study that a bit more. If I want to move forward with that, ideally we'd reach out to them this summer let them build out the program in the fall. Maybe we can implement it in November, December, give us 2 or 3 months to use it when we're slow and be ready to go for next year. But I'll keep you in the loop as I go forward with that. I've also gone over our website just to make sure everything's up to date, adding our staff, going over the rules, policies, all that good stuff. And then currently I'm still working on my 2025 year-end review, just getting all your numbers for last year, all our income, sales, menu usage, stuff like that. I should have that for you by the next meeting. So that's my report. And then lastly, every month I'll give you kind of a financial packet. The first page is kind of a breakdown of all of our transactions for all of our accounts for the last month. Second sheet is all our bank deposits that we took in for the month of January. This year we took in just a little under $2,000 for January. It's a little lower than last year, but that kind of varies. Next up is kind of a balance of our non-reverting. So the park has a non-reverting account. So this first sheet you saw, that's our general budget. That's what's approved by the government. And then the non-reverting is all the money we make in from camping and shelters. That's all the money we take in. So as of right now, after reporting December's reported collections, we're at $227,418. Excuse me.
And that's money not taken back by the county, where the budgeted money, if we don't spend it, we lose it.
Non-reverting is ours. So I like having this good chunk here. You can see on the next sheet, I kind of did a non-reverting outlook. So as right now, we have that $227,000. I want to, probably next meeting, I'll have a quote for you. We want to get another mower for the department. So that's going to cost right around 18 or 19. I wrote down 50,000 for the master plan, but again, if you go with the one firm, that's going to be considerably less. So the number at the bottom is a little off. And then I threw in that amount for the Walnut Grove Schoolhouse roof. That's in there. So, and the last 2 years we made approximately 130,000. So right now we're only planning on the mower, the master plan, and the roof. Those are only things that we know of right now out of the non-reverting. So by this time next year, we should have a little over $300,000 to start using with our master plan to apply for grants. So.
Just something like that I have thought about. We've had so many problems with like mowers and mowers breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of buying mowers, what if we would lease them and then it could go into our budget for the county each year?
Mm-hmm.
And then like we just keep them for, I don't know how long you lease, 3 years, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But then maybe we wouldn't have so much.
Maybe. I don't know what it would cost to lease one.
I don't know
compared to
either.
their owning.
Yeah.
And to be
I
fair,
just thought that would take a lot off of your guys' plate in the high season when you're trying to, keep things mowed, and then if one breaks down, then you have to worry about fixing it or whatever. So anyway, I didn't know if something like that could be put into the budget that the county would then
yeah,
pay every year.
I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure if a leasing company would want to lease this, honestly, because we are rough. Just like we
Okay.
do a lot of like we mulch leaves, like we mow the campgrounds, a lot of stones. Like we
Okay.
do a lot of work not meant for mowers, but for mowers.
Okay.
So we are a little rough on it, but the job requires it. And
Sure.
also, I think we have more issues recently because we do have the 2 parks now. So the reason we're asking for another mower is to try to stay on top of the 2 parks.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to looking into it. It might be cheaper. I don't know which would be the best
Yeah.
route.
Yeah. I'm not really anticipating it to be cheaper, but I thought maybe it would be less.
Easier.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And, then if it can be written in every year in the budget, then we don't have to worry about it. But I don't know. But that was just a thought I had thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know how other county entity parks do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be fair to the mower that's down, it is like a 8 to 9 year old mower. The average homeowner probably puts 40, 50 hours on a mower a year, where we're putting 40, 50 hours on a mower a month. We
Yeah.
get, a lot more time on the mower. So The one we're asking to replace is 89 years old. It's got like 3,000 hours
Yeah.
on it. So we definitely get our money's worth out of them, for
Yeah.
sure. But I can look into leasing if you like, just to,
It doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have to do that for me. I was just like kind of thinking and throwing thoughts out there. So if that's something that you would be interested in, you know, but I was just kind of thinking.
yeah. I can see from a maintenance standpoint it could help because for the first 8 years I was here, we had Decoffs, which was literally a mile down the road. Once they shut down, we've bounced around to different businesses and haven't really landed on anybody. So if you have somebody that you lease it, that could be somebody we reach out to for maintenance, might simplify that. I think this year we've been going to Let's and just past Westport.
Oh,
That's where we're going. And also D&J when they are available here. They're the local company, but they're not always available.
okay.
So yeah, so back to the financial. That was the non-reverting outlook for the year. And the last sheet of paper is just kind of a historical review of what the park's taken in over I think this goes all the way back to 2011. So you can see like our income has increased significantly over the last 15 years. And I believe you could go even further back. I think I remember Greg telling me like his first year here in like the early or the mid 90s, the park made $5,000 in 1 year, and now we're making $130 a year. And that's all I have. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Emily, Elizabeth, any questions? Not about tonight, just in general with the whole process and.
As far as like the being secretary, like at the next meeting, would I take over that role and then you, okay?
Yeah.
You just,
And I'll send these minutes out
let's follow that as a template.
with it, like probably, I try to get them out like within a week, but sometimes it's like right before the next meeting. So that you guys can read through them, and then like at the next meeting, we'll sign to approve these minutes. And then I will send this to Rodney to post.
Then I also keep a physical copy. Like,
Yes.
I have every report, all the minutes and reports from every meeting last year's here, and I'll do the same for this year. Keep everything right there as well.
And then are we going to meet again this month? Is that
If
right?
you guys are okay with that. Originally, I thought about maybe combining the two, but again, with the master plan and everything, I feel like we ought to meet again so we can get involved on that. And then we meet the fourth Tuesday of each month. So, which I'm getting ready to email that list to Amy Jump, so she has the list for our recordings. If you'd like, I can send that to you guys as well, so you can have that for your records. It's also on our Facebook page if you want. I pinned it at the top so the community knows about it. But I can email that to you so you guys know exactly the dates. Also, if you guys are curious about the master plan more, on our website, the old master plan is there, so you can look at it on the website.
Okay. I was assuming it was, or
Yeah.
it was a copy of this.
Or if you'd like, I also have a physical copy in the office. If you want to stop by, you can borrow that a little bit as well.
It's a good workout. It's heavy.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that all we have tonight?
That's all I have.
Anybody else have anything?
As I mentioned, I will not be in town the fourth Tuesday of this month, so
Gotcha.
we'll see everyone
Will we still be able to vote? I mean, down to 3
As long
people
as
out
we
of
have-
4, we don't have the fifth.
As long as we have 3,
in.
Okay.
we'll have,
Yeah.
yes.
Or if you get a chance to read over, if you want to like email one of us and say, hey, this is my vote for which master plan. You know,
Okay.
We could always do it by email too, like
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
us.
Okay,
I
Yeah.
think that's,
we've done that.
we have done that before.
Yeah. If you guys, you know, in the next week's time, all decide on something, let me know. Then I can reach out to the firms and, you know, more time they have, the better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
Okay.
Well, I guess if there is nothing else, we can go ahead and adjourn.
so,
If you don't have any comments from the audience. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
stop.